once again, anybody can take that seat and give an opinion. I encourage you all to do it.
I feel like that it was the right decision for myself and the boys.
Would you be playing first grade at Prospect in 2025?
Would I be playing first grade Prospect?
I am itching for a grand final win. I've been in 3 grand finals in a row now and lost all of them, so I would like to not do that again. It's a terrible...
The next statement is 𝗕𝗔𝗏𝗡𝗄 would have given Tigers a harder playoff match because they won the first grade title.
I'm going to say it straight out, like I said it 3 years ago, nobody gives Quakers harder matches than Prospect. I think it's got to be Hugo because he's been consistent, and I think Nicola is a really it's stiff that he misses out.
Put it to a vote? Should we put it to a vote with the
I'm happy to miss out on the vote and put Hugo in purely on availability.
I think we'll get up. Not in any way, shape or form in disrespect or anything. I think we are in good form. We've gone the long way. I think Blake is going to have his toughest test of the season. Even a couple of weeks ago, we had a good battle.
And we'll all be there together celebrating on Friday night.
For 𝗕𝗔𝗏𝗡𝗗.
Do you think Prospect cares about that badge more than they care about that
100%.
one?
Yeah, 100%.
I completely disagree.
Here come workers on!
But it's fallen here towards Icon!
Oh my word.
To find her teammate in 𝗙𝗥𝗡𝗄𝗏! And now played and struck and in!
People, Ryan Dominici!
Further forward now to 𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗏!
We're all ready to play, and yeah, we'll go out and smoke it this time.
Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome back to the Blacktown Premier League podcast. And you might be asking the question, why have you done the intro with the teams already here? That's because we have 2 podcasts to get through this week. We will start with the PL2 Grand Final. On my left, your right is Prospect. On my right, your left is the 𝗕𝗔𝗏𝗡𝗄 Jets. And these boys are here to do a first of its kind podcast to promote this year's 2025 Grand Final. Boys, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you guys taking time out of your lives. Let's go straight into things. Prospects, let's address the elephant in the room first and foremost. You were not in a position to be in the promotion playoff just a couple of days ago. So when last Wednesday came around and the news dropped, keeping it polite, what was your reaction to that decision?
Yeah, I think in terms of everything, like we are firstly shocked, like everybody else, to see it come through, to be in there against our old rivals Quakers. As we know, we've had our battles over the years, but I think, the boys are up for it, and it just adds another factor to a pretty good season so far for us.
Joel, I go to you. Again, welcome to the podcast for the first time. It's great to have you on. Thank you for coming here tonight. You've revitalised a club that sort of stalled going up a hill last year. You've kicked them back into gear, taken the handbrake off as well. I wish you a great congratulations for the job that you've done. You've earned a shot at the first time of asking, which is very impressive as well. No matter how it came around, that's what you've ended up with. When you started this season though, and you mapped out how you wanted it to go, did you expect to be in a promotion playoff spot?
Not really, being the first year, and I guess my first time sort of managing a first grade squad, so I had to learn a lot about the players themselves. So initially it was about to create an environment for everyone to thrive, basically.
Excellent. Evan, I go to you. Welcome back to the podcast, my friend. Thanks for being here as well. You went and watched the Town Rangers Prospect game that ended up with Prospect meeting you in the grand final, as we spoke about last week. What were some of the takeaways you took from both teams, particularly your grand final opposition?
Mainly, there was pretty complete domination from Prospect side. It looked like a pretty one-sided affair. Didn't look like there was many chances from the yellow and green side. But the takeaways from them is that this is going to be the toughest game of the year, whether it's 90 minutes, whether it's 120 minutes, it's going to be a war. And having a history with them personally makes it even more bittersweet. So, yeah, we're ready for it no matter what happens.
We will address that history as this goes on. Charbel, I'm going to bring you into the podcast for the first time. Thank you very much for being here. I want to talk about your penalty specialty a fortnight ago. You're a striker that becomes a goalkeeper, or perhaps you're a goalkeeper that becomes a striker. Tell me all about how that's come about this season and how you ended up in goals saving penalties in a shootout.
Look, it's more of a part-time goalkeeping situation. our main goalkeeper, he's been in and out of state realistically with work situations and so on and so forth. And realistically, you could say, next best within the squad for jumping in goal. And obviously the guys trust me at the back. We've played indoor soccer, outdoor soccer with me being in goals. That's just always how it's been. So next, the call up from the coach came in, and that's it, and just sitting in goal. And in terms of the penalty shootout, look, it's obviously it's a massive thing, but for myself, with the 2 penalties I saved, obviously the guys that watched it, and the 2 that I saved were just a bit more central right to me, so nothing too special. But at the end of the day, a save's a save. That's about it.
Humble king. Will, is it good now that you're able to put yourself sort of... Yeah, we'll go to Will. Is it good now that you're able to sort of settle yourself, knowing that you are playing up against Prospect? You know, last week you were sort of waiting for the result to come through. Now, as the coach, you know who you're playing. You've got some time to prepare for it. How does that feel for you personally?
Look, the week off definitely helps, and I think watching the game between the two is definitely very insightful as well, because you get to see from afar what both teams do well, what they don't do so well, but specifically you can kind of relay it back to the games you've already versed them, and hopefully try and get around things that happened last time. I mean, they beat us only a couple of weeks ago, so then watching them go and beat Rangers really gave us some insight into that.
We will talk about that game a couple of weeks ago in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Adam, I go to you. You've been here for a long time. You'll be entering your 7th year next year, I do believe, if my memory is serving me correctly. This must feel like a really good achievement. But let's also talk about the other elephant in the room, the slightly smaller one. You're coming up against a team who, a couple of years ago, were majority your reserve grade and your squad depth. We're going to talk about this more in the debate a little bit going forward, but I just want to hear from your perspective, first and foremost. Is that an exciting opportunity for you?
It definitely is. We were playing with them a few years back, and we've been in this situation before with them as well, going into a Friday night grand final. And look, we know how they play. We've obviously played them twice this season, lost one and won one. And look, just really looking forward to playing them again. It's going to be a really good match on Friday night, playing against some old friends as well. But when it comes down to Friday night, I think we've both got some differences, but we're looking forward to it.
Danny Bouzas, some demons to overcome in terms of a grand final at Blacktown Football Park on a Friday night. What are your thoughts? What do you remember from the last time you played a grand final at that ground, and how much do you personally want to avenge that?
I think it's important to note that we broke the curse.
Yes,
so
match of the rounds, yes.
We hadn't won there in, I think, 8 match of the rounds, but we broke that this year. So yeah, that definitely gives us a lot more confidence going into the grand final. I mean, 2022 was rough. Like, we were triple-minded premiers across 21s, Resis and first grade. Resis by an absolute mile. Beat Creek 4 times throughout the year, and then we get to the grand final and we got absolutely mauled. And it didn't get much better in first grade. I think it was 4-0 that night. So yeah, there's plenty there to play for. I think ultimately it's different now. Like, as we said, we had these boys with us. Now obviously we're playing against them. So in terms of like the growth of these guys as a squad, it's unreal to see. We've also grown as a team, and in 3 short years we've ended up here. So ultimate goal is obviously to get a win, but the club is happy where we're at, and we can just move forward and hopefully get the result on Friday night.
Blake Curry, I go to you before we go into our debate section. You're obviously stellar in your reserve grade PL2 season in Prospect colours. You've made a name for yourself in this competition. Is it going to feel weird, do you think, coming up against them when the last time you played in a grand final for Prospect, it was, it wasn't quite a day that went your way, but is it weird to come up against the old club in that way?
Yeah, it'll probably feel a little bit strange on the actual day. Thinking about it now, maybe not so much, just purely because we played them, I played them over the last 2 years at Ponds. So maybe that sort of took it out of it. If it had been back-to-back going from that grand final to then playing them now, it probably would have felt a bit different. But look, at the end of the day, I think it'll just be go out there, I'll switch into game mode and just get the job done. I won't be thinking about any of that. So, yeah.
Business as usual for BC. Right, ladies and gentlemen who are watching this grand final podcast, we are going to try and experiment with something very new and I'm not quite sure how it'll go, but inspired by a couple of recent very viral events in the internet world, I've decided to bring the Grand Final podcast and present it to you in a way that we haven't done before. As you can see, we've got 2 chairs and a central microphone where we are planning on getting some debate and discourse going about potential storylines, statements that I might make to throw a few curveballs their way, but we're here to just see what these two teams are made of and truly think of each other. So I'm going to make statements. Players are then going to be brave enough to hopefully take the seats and provide a reason as to why they agree or disagree with the statements, and hopefully we get some banter and discourse, something in the middle of that, for about 60 seconds at a time before we'll cut it right there. I'm going to stop talking and make the first statement. So once again, anybody can take that seat and give an opinion. I encourage you all to do it. And if you want to rip somebody off that chair and give a better answer than your teammate, feel free to do so. Just make sure you keep your eyes on that camera and on each other. My first statement is Mpimbre Jets and the maturation that you guys have gone through in the last 3 years since leaving this prospect group has proven to be the right decision. Who is willing to talk about that?
Do I just go?
You can talk into it. The microphone will pick up everything you say.
Do we look into the camera?
Yeah.
Personally, I believe that the thoughts from myself and the boys are that it was the right decision. I'll look at Danny because this is a bit more personal. We feel like it was the right decision. We felt like we needed to step out on our own, be our own kind of team, grow as players. I believe that my years at the Ponds were more defining in terms of how much I thought I knew in football. You get to a team like that, you have the quality of the players around you, you realise that you don't know a lot. So I think that in terms of learning, in terms of growing as footballers, and in terms of getting to where we are today, minor premiers in Tier 2 obviously, I feel like that it was the right decision for myself and the boys.
Would you be playing first grade at Prospect in 2025?
Would I be playing first grade Prospect? No, I believe your midfield is very good. So.
Would anybody in your squad be playing first grade?
Yes, multiple.
How many?
Say a good 7.
7?
Say a good 7.
So that leaves us 4.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a big call.
That's
a big call.
That is a rough number.
That's a big call.
That is a rough number off the top of my head, but I think 6 or 7. We'll give us 6.
6. All right. That's a tough call.
Well,
we'll let you have that one.
Done. Boys, come back to your seats. That's a perfect start to what we wanted to see. The next statement is the grand final means more to Mpimbre Jets. I'm happy to go for it. The grand final, Adam Dunn and Blake Curry, it means more to the Mpimbre Jets.
I disagree.
Why?
I think we're fighting for it. I think we're hungry for it, and I think we're more hungry than anyone else in the comp. That's for sure. You can just see by our past games how much we're hungry for every win, and how good we've come since that second round.
I can't really disagree with him. Is that a problem?
That's good.
Everything is said actually. What I would put to you is what we talked about last week, for example, on the podcast, where you guys mentioned that you wanted to come here not to win promotion. Your goal was to come here and compete in a first grade push and then make a grand final. So has that since changed?
I might be remembering it wrong, or you might be remembering it wrong, but I remember you phrasing that question to me personally, not as a team, but like as in from the first podcast we did, the one at Mpimbre. So for me personally, I think I am itching for a grand final win. I've been in 3 grand finals in a row now and lost all of them, so I would like to not do that again. It's a terrible, it's a terrible afternoon, as you well know. I think that there is plenty of boys in our team too that will be very, very hungry. There's probably a few in there too that this might be their first grand final and nerves might get the best of them. But I don't think it's probably fair to say that either team wants it more. I think we both probably want it equally as much for different reasons. So yeah, that's
absolutely
that's how
agree with that.
I'm gonna go with that.
Definitely.
Statement just while you're both there, is there any chance that Prospect may want it less because focus might shift into 13 September?
No, I don't think that'll have any play.
No, we go game by game, and that's football. Our mentality this week is for our grand final. After that, we look forward to the next game.
Joel, I might throw to you. You guys can make your way back to the seats. Thanks very much for doing that one. Joel, I go to you quickly. You're now juggling a match after the season. You've got to keep sharpness sharp, players fit and motivated. So I'm now going to pass this microphone to you directly. How are you going to make that happen in order to get a good game up against Tigers from the First Division?
To be very honest, I think the boys that we have in our squad, I think first thing, they're pretty young. I think the average age is about 23, and they're very hungry to learn. I have no issues with in terms of motivation and that sort of thing. I think we've made an improvement in the way that the environment is. People are really comfortable there. They're keen to train. For the most part, I think it's not going to be too hard to keep these boys focused because everyone wants to be there. They want to train hard and they want to improve.
Excellently put. The next statement is, if Prospect nullify Blake Curry, who's got the golden boot next to his name, they will win the grand final. Come on, coach.
Oh, no. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
If Prospect nullify Blake Curry, they will win the grand final.
I'll start with this. I think it's a very dangerous game to play when you're focusing on one player, right? I'm sure, I mean, every team obviously has a star player. You know, some people will have 2-3 guys, but as soon as you try and start, you know, maybe overloading a side or doing all this stuff to try and be like, okay, we need to take this guy out of the game, you expose yourself, I think, to a lot more. And it's why I really got to respect everyone on the pitch, I think. I get that, you know, 26 goals is 26 goals, but, you know, again, it's a very dangerous game to play.
I do agree.
That's okay.
But yeah, I sort of agree with what he's saying. I think if you place a great importance on one player, football is a team sport, and so in that scenario would be putting ourselves at risk. But I think at the end of the day, however, I think it is pretty evident that he plays a key role in your squad, and football is also a game of space. So there is only so much space that he can run into.
Joel, considering what we've all just talked about just then, do you have a plan right now in place? What can you reveal? What can you reveal to us there?
Reveal absolutely nothing.
Excellent. Boys, I get you about that. That's very well done. Again, I'll probably call that one even. The next statement is, Prospects are the favourites for the grand final because they have the hottest streak of form. They are undefeated since mid-June, and they won the last game against the Jets, which was in the last round of the regular season.
Thank you.
You go, start. I think that this game is as big of a coin toss as you can get. I think if you look at Prospects' run of form in the first half of the season, Minchinbury's run of form in the second half of the season, the key to whoever has the best run of form is who has the players available, right? You look, I actually researched this last night. I checked the first game that we versus Prospect and beat them 3-1. Maybe 4 players that were in their reserve grade team was starting in their first grade team, right? Completely weakened team. Danny wasn't there himself. Big up Danny. And it was one of those games where we had a lot more players available. Second time round, put my hand up, I was not in the country. We had about the same amount, 3, 4, 5 players that were normally our reserve graders starting in the first grade game, and both score differences were the same. So that we won 3-1, they won 4-2, it was a 2-goal difference. I think run of form plays a part, but I don't think that makes them necessarily favourites in a sense.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't think run of form has a place in finals. I think finals are like cup games. You're playing for every week, and you don't know if you're going to play the week after. So I don't believe we're favourites for just our run of form, but for who we are become as a team. Our discipline, our motivation really has pushed us the whole season, and form isn't probably what I'd call us being favourites. I think it's just how we have been, and how we've been pushing. So the motivation, discipline is just top notch, and I believe that's what will get us over the line.
Okay.
Just quickly, as we said before, it's also, we've done quite the feat to have to play 2 elimination finals
Yeah.
from actually finishing second.
Yeah.
So I think we'd probably, as we're not sure, we got to do the math, but I think we might be the first team ever that's finished second and had to play 2 elimination finals. So we've had a pretty rough run of it. But yeah, as boys have said, both teams are going to be up for it, man.
Yeah.
Come back. The next statement is 𝗕𝗔𝗏 would have given Tigers a harder playoff match because they won the first grade title.
I'm going to say it straight out, like I said it 3 years ago, nobody gives Quakers harder matches than Prospect. The rivalry is ridiculous. 2022, I'm pretty sure up until the final round they're actually leading the club championship until they bottled it on the last day and we jumped in from third. We had some crazy, I think every game that season was 1 goal. So last year also they beat us once, we beat them once, and obviously we were relegated at the end of the year, but I think to say that any team is going to give them a tougher run than us is not even close to being accurate.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I
You know,
100% agree with
you scored.
I'm just trying to think like it's kind of one of those games, Prospect versus when I was playing with you guys, Prospect versus Quakers. It's like it's just one of those derbies. It's like Pons v Marion, Doonside v Pons, like those top 3 teams. It's an absolute onslaught. I don't think our boys would get that because they haven't been there in those sorts of games maybe, and the physicality is just not there. Like it's everything you do for the entire year would be completely different to just that one game.
Yeah, I mean, there was plenty of Quakers boys there on the weekend, so they're already doing some homework. So yeah, I mean, to say, as Blake said as well, to say any other team playing him would be a bigger thing, I don't think so.
I will come in and back us though. I still reckon we would beat them.
I would also back you to beat them.
I don't think we'd give them a harder game. I think the difference would be we might beat them on the scoreline, but physically you guys would move them off the park.
It's going to be a war.
Yeah,
it's going to be a war.
Came to that podcast, boys. That was really well done. I do at one point, as I've hinted to you guys, I do want to build a best combined 11 between you two, but I've just thought of a couple more statements as we go on, and that is off the back of what we've just said. Prospect wanted to go up more this year than 𝗕𝗔𝗏 Jets.
Are you going to field it?
In fact, let me just quickly add to that as well. And they planned for this season better in order to go up this season.
100%. I'll answer that first. 100% for you guys. You know, we were struggling up until the week before the season started to even have a proper 32. So I think promotion was, yeah, it would have been nice. It would have been great to come in and to actually get that first year, but realistically that was not really going to happen. You know, the way you guys have structured yourself, you know, against Rezzies, you know, both Rezzies and first grade, especially the second half of the season. Like I was saying to my boys, I think you guys are the best coached team in the league. Right? You're the most structured team. You're probably going to give us the biggest challenge, and it's great that we get to do that, you know, on the final. But you've seen from our season, our Rezzies came second last. Man, they won 2 games. So it's not even a comparison. I don't think it's even a comparison between the two. You guys definitely probably planned better, structured better. I mean, you've got the link with the NPL club and things like that. But you know, definitely, I'll give that to you guys.
Yeah, look, I think the mentality at the start of the season was maybe not. We don't want that. But now it's definitely shifted. Now it's here and we can take it, and I think that's what we want. But yeah, I've got to give it to the club because the club, for however many years I've been here, is just, we've had a 21s, we've had a Rezzies, we've had a first grade, and each year we do really good in all 3 grades. And the boys who step up week in, week out, you know, you got to give it up to them as well. But yeah, I think the mentality's definitely shifted halfway through the season. We didn't want it, but it's here for the taking, and we're going to take it.
Done, boys, come back in. Prospects have more firepower and more quality depth to come off the bench in the grand final.
That's a hard one. We don't have a team list. We don't have a team list.
standpoint, I think we do have quite a few options, and so I equate that to firepower. I think that we have players that are really, really strong in certain attributes, and I think that makes us really unique. And so I think I would agree that we have to be more firepower.
You tell me, Joel.
Squad depth has come off the bench, firepower off the bench.
Yeah, look, depth has been a pretty big issue for us all year. Where we've got our core players playing week in, week out, but sometimes we've struggled for that 11th or that 12th or that 13th player to really get us going when we need it. So you probably see a lot of times we've had to stick with starting 11 on the field.
Grand final though. Let's keep it in grand final. Who's got the depth in the grand final?
Can we kick him off?
You can kick it off. But let's give him a second to answer off the back of the pickup. Just this one game.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know much about your guys' depth, so I can't really say, but I think with everyone available for us in the grand final, we definitely got depth on the bench where I've got 2 or 3 or 4 deep that I can rely on to come in and really get something going.
Like who? You'll reveal a starting 11 here maybe, but based on examples maybe, and you can sort of look backwards now, based on examples, who comes off the bench and makes impact?
Mr. Mabry.
Okay. Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, do I go up there?
Yeah,
you keep me off, man.
If you want.
I think in terms of firepower, especially off the bench, to say that either team has more, again, it's a bit weird to say because each player plays a different role, but we've got players coming off our bench who have held 2 Town Rangers centre-backs. Mind you, they are big, they are very tall, and have completely taken them out the game, right? So I'm normally very fair, but I think on this one we've got injured players who throughout the second half of the season we said just save it for finals. Maybe is an example that obviously William said, but we've got some players coming off the bench that especially people have seen before, but the impact that they play in order to get us to where we want to be as a team and a style is completely different. And also in terms of firepower, we actually have people that they haven't seen yet completely.
Look forward to it.
Funnily enough, just on coincidence that he hasn't played when we got some.
You got any rebuttals to that, Joel?
No, I'm just excited. Okay. I am looking forward to it.
Excellent. Come back in, boys. Thanks for topping up those answers. We are going to do 2 of the biggest questions now. We've left them until last. I would like to build a starting 11 combined between you both. You can use a player that I would ideally like to use players that have at least played 5, 6, 7 games rather than impact subs who, I don't know, or a person who played 1 game and left. Let's start with the back 5. We'll go with a 4-3-3, include a goalkeeper. Whoever wants to build the best combined back 5, including goalkeeper, please be my guest. Let's toss up between a couple of players.
We're going up?
Whoever.
Oh, no, I was asking if we're going up or getting there. Discuss. I think I'll start with goalkeeper. Look, can I reveal about my team that he picks? Or?
You can do whatever you like.
Okay. So originally, when I first thought of goalkeeper team, I had 2 in my head, and that was 𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗖𝗓 and 𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗓. And then we versed 𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗓. We versed Rangers, I think, 3 or 4 times in the last couple of weeks. And my God, he's a freak. Even when we watched the Parkley game where they beat them 4-0, man, Parkley could have easily gone 3-0 up, and he makes himself so big in one-on-ones. I think no-brainer. He's goalkeeper.
Defend your man. Defend your man.
Yeah, look.
Combine
I was hoping it was between you guys, but I'm glad you picked up some I was going to let you go.
I didn't realise it was combined level. I thought you were talking about.
Can you just please apologise to the camera?
Sorry guys. I was definitely.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. 𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗗. I mean, even the last time we versed him in that 4-2 game, you made a couple of spectacular saves, really.
Fullbacks.
I'd throw JP in there to start with. I think JP from the Mitchell team is definitely a quality player. And then prospects, it's Jordan Buckley, absolutely left back, no doubt. Anton at centre back. And right back, I'd throw myself in there. I'd have to throw myself in there.
Yeah. So we're going with 4 out of 5 being prospects?
I would put Drew at right back. I think Drew's been our most consistent player all year.
Drew's good. Drew's very good.
Yeah, I think where he's come from, beginning of the season, especially pre-season to now, he's been our most consistent player all year. I'd have to chuck him in there. I got you, Drew.
So let's just confirm.
Douglas cut for the second time this week.
I'd still keep myself in there, no doubt.
Okay, so we're confirming, so everyone just look that way, so we're going to go with Danny, because I'm going to build this on the graphic, we're going to go with Danny Bruce in goal, Jordan Buckley at one side, are we going with Drew, or are we going with...
I think Andrew Nunes.
Drew, yeah, Drew's got it.
We'll take it.
I'll
give in.
Sorry. But Mitchell, we're going to go with 2 prospects centre-backs in Anton and Adam. We're shaking on that?
Anton and JP.
Oh, and JP.
Anton and JP.
Yeah, Drew at right back.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Good.
Let's build a 3-man midfield. You boys, you can come back. You can go back up. Come on. This is where the fun.
What are we playing? Are we playing 4-3-3? What are we playing?
By the way, this is the debate you want.
We need a 3-man midfield. So
3-man midfield.
no one goes past Andrew.
Do you want to hear my midfield before?
I'd like to hear it.
Okay, so I think I'm putting Monzi out of it purely because of the fact that, especially in the first half of the season, he wasn't available very much.
Yep.
And the game that we played the first time, he actually came late. That's why he was on the bench.
Yeah, right.
Ability-wise, he would be, but I'm just to keep it fair, right?
Why don't you just give me the 3 you got?
We've got Andrew.
Yeah.
Next to Nicholas Kambouris.
100%.
With Nicola Rymack at number 10.
Oh, Nicola's good. I'll tell you, yeah, that is good, but hey, you go. You can't. Well, hang on. See, this is the thing. We get the combined 11. But there's so many guys across these 2 teams that could easily fill a 16-man squad, right? So the thing is you cannot. Nicola's a freak. Give the bloke a dead ball. It's crazy. I was on the field next to him and I saw his free kick in the semi-final, which I don't know if anyone's got on camera, but Kyle was crazy to get there, but unbelievable. So you can't leave him out. Andrew's the best player in the comp. That's thing. If Valchek had played more games, he'd be in the mix. But he's obviously only played, I think, like a handful of games. But I don't think there's any...
Sorry, how many games has Nikola Rimans played, though? Is my question.
He's missed 8.
I think enough.
I'm even looking at you as having missed the last 6 weeks. But we'll go with 4. But if that's the case, though, then Hugo's played a small number of games. Monzi's played a small number of games.
No, Hugo has only missed 2 games.
Yeah. All season?
Yeah, Hugo's been one of the most consistent. He's only missed the games that BDSFA have scheduled on a Sunday for us because he's working. Not sure what he does, but he's working.
Okay, so let's start with this. Really? Okay.
I would say.
Pick the first one.
Definitely Andrew. Andrew's there.
I think the clear 2
Andrew and
is
Kambouris.
Andrew with Kambouris.
Kambouris and Andrew.
One at a time. Start again. Sorry.
Andrew.
Kambouris.
Okay, so you're choosing each other's.
Yeah. No, definitely, 100%.
That's 6 and 8.
We've got Andrew Amabile. We've got Nicholas.
Nicholas.
I need one more midfield. I don't care if they're 10, 6 or 8.
I think it's got to be Hugo. And don't get me wrong, I love Nicola. I love him, great kid. I just think Hugo's just a little bit better, especially just in his work rate.
Yeah.
We all know that Nicola can get lazy.
Yeah, he can, but I'm firmly sticking with Nicola. I think his ability to break down teams with just a turn of his head. The guy can break down teams with anything.
But the thing is too, we're also... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think you started off by saying you're putting Monzi out because he hasn't played enough games. I love Nicola, he's my best mate. He's my best friend. But he has missed too many games. If you say Hugo's only missed 2 games, then... The other issue too is that Kambouris is a 6, right? Yeah. See, Hugo would also be a 6, whereas Nicola is an out-and-out 10.
Yeah.
So to make this work, it needs to be a flat 3 in the middle. No diamond.
That's okay. I'm not worried about
No, but this is important. I think it's got to be Hugo because he's been consistent.
And I think Nicolo is a really it's stiff that he misses out.
Put it to a vote. Should we put it to a vote with the
I'm happy to miss out on the vote and put Hugo in purely on availability.
Okay.
I think that's fair because Hugo's been consistent for 15 games.
All right. So say our midfield three into the camera, Danny Boozes, if you'd like to.
Andrew Amabil, Nicholas Camboris, and Hugo insert last name.
Miyazaki. Boys, come back. That was really, really well done. Just try and keep the contributions to one at a time. I know there's some funny stuff happening back here, but I want to make sure we all pick it up on the camera. There's one or two shoe-ins for the front line, but let's do it. Front three, please.
He's got to vote himself.
Yeah.
Just me, that's it. No one else, no. I think, again, I think this is not as difficult as the midfield, but definitely a very tough one. I'd go myself, James 𝗙𝗧, and I got to put, no, he hasn't played many games. How many games has �11𝗡 played?
So that's what I was about to say. Jaff's only played. So Jaff's also only played 5 because I would have thought Jaff was in there as well. But who are you about to say?
�11𝗡, because he plays up top.
How many's he played?
5 or 6.
What's his goal return?
He's our second highest goal scorer.
5. Yeah. So yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's it. That there, very Jaff and �11𝗡. Forget about it. I'm glad I'm not making that decision. But I'll need to debate that. But actually, I don't think this is hard for Joel because Joel's never seen �11𝗡.
I've played with him.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
I mean, we could always drop a midfielder and squeeze both of them.
I will put an honourable mention into Jonathan Lennon, the winger, but he has also missed a handful of games that I don't think James 𝗙𝗧 has missed as many, so he's got to go in there because he's also just quality.
No games.
Yeah, James. We agreeing one wing James, the other wing BC, and what about through the middle? Not that the positions matter, but who's our last one?
Jafar.
I've got to go �11𝗡. They've played the same amount of games. I'll back �11𝗡.
All right, you guys have got 15 seconds each to give us a reason as to why your player should make it in. You go.
Okay, I think Jafar's got more, I guess, he's got more to bring to the game or to the team in that his hold-up play is really, really exceptional. He's got an eye for goal, pretty much can turn and shoot and he'll probably be on target. He is quicker than Nick as well, without a doubt. So I think in a 1v1 situation, I think Jafar would absolutely be on top.
Okay, Blake?
I think for what �11𝗡 lacks in pace, he makes up for in his touch on the ball and the way that he feeds in, particularly me and Jonathan, the winger. He's also got an excellent shot on him. His work rate, even though he's unfit, he runs probably more than anybody on our team, other than maybe Nick Camboris in the midfield. And yeah, his goal return in the 5 or 6 games that he's been there has been outstanding. He's scored as many goals as he has played games, so I don't think you can argue with that.
Cap it there. Okay, I think we should put this to a vote. Who thinks that? I can imagine it'll be each.
The thing is, �11𝗡 also brings a fair bit of experience. Jafar's young, so that's another pretty big factor. If you are picking if we had Jafar for the length of the season, it's a different story, but. Not to say he's been probably our most important signing of the season because Jimmy was doing it all by himself, but it is hard to go past �11𝗡.
It sounds like they're the exact same person, just in a different body.
Okay, should we call it a tie? I'm happy to keep that a tie.
Yep, tie.
Just keep it
All right.
Boys, well done. Really well debated. Come on, back in. Right, the last question in terms of the combined 11 is who's the coach of the team? There's only 2 people who should be.
You don't even need to get up. Joel should be the coach. I think what you've done, especially second half of the season, fantastic, mate. Even when I hear you on the sideline, instructing players, I think it's second time. So I'll put my hands up and I'll take a back seat.
Beautifully well said, John. Thank you. Quiet round of applause. Right, the last question is the most important one. It's not a statement, it will be a question. Who will win the grand final, and you must justify it? Happy for multiple answers, multiple contributions.
Hey mate, I think we'll get up. Not in any way, shape or form in disrespect or anything. I think we are in good form. We've gone the long way. I think
Blake is going to have his toughest test of the season. Even a couple of weeks ago, we had a good battle. Not to say that the other boys won't score, but he's the man who does a lot of the damage. But I think it's not going to be like a 1-0. There's going to be plenty of goals. I think we're looking at like a 4-2, 5-3, because although both teams are really good defensively, we are both unbelievably attacking.
Yeah, I'm going Mitchell Jets, obviously. I believe we've got the edge in terms of heart. We've got the edge so we know we're coming in for a war. We've also got the edge in terms of we played 120 minutes, so we know what it takes to go that long. Not that you guys haven't played 120 minutes in your career, but in recent times we've been taken to deep waters, and not only did we come out on top, but we proved that we were the better team on the day. And I think that come Friday night we'll be the better team on that day as well.
We usually just win it in 90 minutes. That's all I'm going to say. But we are going to have our work cut out for us, especially if the Saints in goals.
All praise Saint Charbel.
If Saint Charbel's in goals, it's going to be a tough night.
Looking for a 15-second answer from both of you as to where you think you can target your opposition.
There's no way we can actually target the opposition, man. I didn't play the first game. Second game we played against them, we were pretty strong down the wing where we've been all year. But then there's been other games this season where we just whip in and score through the middle. So we don't actually have a set plan. We know what we've got to do. We go out there and we just go with the flow.
I would say in agreement as well. I think it's more so on us. It's not in terms of their weaknesses. It's more so on our strengths. We're similar in terms of that we're strong down the wing, but with Veljack as well, we're now strong centrally as well. So same as you pretty much.
Okay, so it's going to be a tie and the lights will go off. Boys, thanks very much for your predictions. Does anybody want to add to what was just said? Go.
From prospect we've been down and we've been up, and most of the boys have stayed around. And from the last grand final that we were in to now, it's like a lot of the same boys. So it's not just deep waters. We've been all around. We've been down and up, and the boys have stuck through. We haven't gone looking for anything else. We've stayed with our club and with our boys, and that's why I think we'll get up, because we really want this, because we've been there, we've lost, and we've stayed, and we're still in the same spot. So yeah, that's why I think we'll get up there on Friday night.
Minch, are you going to let him end on that note?
Get the Saint up there, bro. Come on, mate. Get up there.
It's a G-rated podcast.
It's okay.
I do agree. You guys are stuck together. You guys are a well-furbished family in a sense, but also in that sense, these boys that I'm playing with are not just people that I've brought with me to Minchinbury or have come to Minchinbury just to have a kick around. These are people that I've known for 13 plus years.
Yeah.
These are people that through teenage years and through growing up and whatnot have experienced the lows of the lows and the highs of the highs. We've lost multiple together. We've won multiple together. So I think that we don't only match you in that sense, but we actually top you guys in that sense.
Well, I disagree with that. You top us in that sense, because we've all been together at the same place with those lows and with everyone around the club, and they've experienced it with us, and we want to give it back to them as well. So we've all been together for that long and really in the same place. So that's my point, that we've done well to stick together, and we'll all be there together celebrating on Friday night.
For Minchinbury.
Do you think Prospect cares about that badge more than they care about that
100%.
one?
Yeah, 100%.
I completely disagree, and I will talk about this. I'll try and keep it short, but at first we did try and just find a club to let us play, but Minchinbury has been so much more than that. And I'll quote the man Blake Curry himself. After that game against Town Rangers, he and I both agreed that we finally found a badge to die for. So I think that although your badge means a lot, it's got more history. What the club has done for us and how they've welcomed us, we want to give back to every single person in the Minchinbury community just as much as you guys do.
That's fair enough, because we're in the same boat, really. Like, we want to, obviously, it's not even just giving back to the people. We've all found a club that really, we've had a club before that was our family, but this has really brought us all back together to where we needed to be. And it's not just that the club has just done wonders for us. You know, there have been times where the club hasn't done wonders for us, and we've still stuck around. So well, that's what it means to us. And this is where we all are. Like, you know, like my family's here, and you know, we've really built a family as well among this club, and that's
Two families going.
That's it.
Good, excellent. How very European. Boys, I need to come back in as I do the outro. That is the end of the statements, and I want to thank you all, especially for Danny and for, I think, Blake, or it might have been you, who just went straight for it straight away. That was an exceptional way to introduce the grand final. I hope you all thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to do something a bit different on the podcast. Wishing you both the best of luck as you head into Friday night, 8:30 p.m. And I'm hoping the people that have watched this now will make sure that they come and watch it at Blacktown Football Park. Thanks again, and best of luck. Done.
And now played and struck and in. Further forward now to Gnira. Ryan Dominici
Wants a second goal. Isabel Brett should have a second goal and finishes with ease.